A series of activities took place today during Church of Uganda Family TV's third annual Kyoto Breakfast, which drew a diverse audiences of guests. One of the key highlights was a panel discussion on parenting in the age of artificial intelligence, and the discussion featured Collins Babirukamu from the Bank of Uganda, Irene Karungi Sechitoleko from the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance, and SSP Jackson Muchunguzi from the Uganda Police Force.
How do we balance innovation with intentionality? How do we balance protection with progress? How do we remain grounded as parents in the digital age? That is going to be the focus of our discussion this morning with our wonderful team of panelists.
Collins Babirukamu, Executive Director for ICT at the Bank of Uganda, and one of the panelists, cautioned that computers are increasingly taking on human-like tasks, and if not properly managed, could become difficult to control within the next 5 years, a development that may pose significant challenges to both churches and nations.
AI is simply teaching machines to do things that humans would ideally do. Simply putting a brain into a computer so that it can also learn and do things without human intervention. And therefore, traditional IT was always like, traditional technology was like a calculator.
Yes.
You said +2 + 2 gives you 4. It wasn't meant to think too much. Computers now are doing human-like tasks. We believe that in about 5 years, this is now the tough part, we believe that computers now may actually be slightly out of control if not checked, because they are constantly learning with artificial intelligence.
Irene Karungi Sechitoleko, Senior ICT Infrastructure Engineer at the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance, emphasized the importance of embracing technology as a driver for economic growth, noting that many countries have advanced because of it.
We need to, first of all, embrace it as technology. We need to embrace it because we shall be left behind. Many countries, developing countries and developing countries have embraced it, and it's a big part and contributor to innovation and has driven their countries' economies. So it's the same thing as Ugandans. We need to first embrace the technology. Now, how do we protect ourselves? To us as parents and to us as and to our children, we need to be able to use it not just for the benefit of getting to know everything, but to have those safeguards. So we have to use it thoughtfully and also responsibly.
SSP Jackson Muchunguzi from the Department of Child and Family Protection at the Uganda Police Force noted that while artificial intelligence can be a useful tool, people must understand that it is not the ultimate solution. Human reasoning and moral values should always take the lead.
There is a risk of replacing humanity. There is a common saying that man made money and money made man mad. So a man made a computer and a computer has made a human being replaced. So there is a problem that family, human intelligence and natural thinking, especially parenting, is being replaced by artificial intelligence. And that is very dangerous. If you don't raise a generation that thinks, a generation that can interact, then there is a big problem.
According to Collins Babirukamu, there is great need for parents to understand artificial intelligence, as this knowledge will help them guide and mentor their children better.
It is important to put boundaries. We call them digital boundaries. Digital boundaries are important for every parent. In my household, there are no phones, smartphones, devices before 16. You can use them, but you can't own one. You can't even use one in a bedroom. You must be in a common space where you are. So parents must create digital boundaries and become tough about it. Parents are very nice now because we are so busy, we are delegating our children to the TV and devices. So AI, of course, is finding our children there. The second thing is that every parent needs to be aware of AI. Because if you don't know AI, how are you going to guide your children?
Relatively, Irene Karungi advised internet users to be cautious about the information they share online, saying this helps maintain personal boundaries and enhances digital safety.
Technology is very addictive. Internet, you've already seen, is addictive. So we need to see how to set these boundaries. Personal information, I don't want to forget about that. Please do not share any personal information on using these technologies, because like what Colin said, it keeps learning. So you don't want a machine to really know you in and out and even probably report you elsewhere with your names, with your age and everything. So keep your personal information safe and also educate the children.
To parents, SSP Jackson Muchunguzi urged them to be intentional in raising their children and to lead by example as role models.
Be a role model. These children copy and paste. They don't listen to your words. If you say something and you are contrary, then you are in another world. Then finally I can say be intentional in whatever you are doing. When you will be no more, those that will be there, what will they say that you were there? Were you a negligent father? Were you an inspiring husband or wife?